Hey, just wanted to go through some recent job issues that I had. This is the show file. The first one's called Skip a Beat. My scenes here are BPM triggered, so every time I trigger a BPM it will go in sequence, and that's how it worked. What I experienced is that for some reason it was adding an extra beat, which meant that it became out of sync. So it kind of did red cyan, for instance. It cut, the cyan was longer than the red, which was no, sorry, the red was longer than the cyan. It was like adding an extra beat. I haven't worked out what that causes. I have noticed that there's another bug here, but anyway, what I've always wanted is that these scenes, I've wanted them to fade, or I've wanted them to be snappy. I've always kept them snappy. I found a way of using size to help me create from fade to snap. So now if I reduce the fade down, it's now fade in between. I've noticed that obviously it's a bit like, size is a bit like saturation, so it's just going to a white. But anyway, this does work. I have attached a dongle right now, but when I'm outputting live or when I attach the MIDI board, it does become a bit temperamental. It's not as fast as this. This is really fast, but when you add a MIDI board it becomes a bit temperamental. The other thing I've noticed is that here you'll notice the range works in that range, and it operates from 40 to, so technically I want it from 50, but trying to get it to 50 is always a nightmare. So I want it from 50 to 100. You'll notice here that's correct. If I increase my size, I'm 100% there, 100% here, but I'm only 92% here. I don't understand why it's only going to 92. I've told it to go to 100. So it's not doing what I'm telling it to do. The other scenario I've had is that you can see here I've set the BPM fades. Now there's no phase. If I double tap, everything's reset. Copy and paste to here. That means it's done it correctly. Yeah. What I don't like is that, say maybe I'll play with the phase. Now I'll copy and paste it. Obviously it's copied the phasing across. So it has caught me on a couple of times, a bit in the program. You can see a bit later I've messed up, so now I need to manually adjust these. It does this weird thing as well here where it's kind of done that. Can I understand why it's done that? Yes, I can kind of understand why it's done that, but I don't know why it has done that. It looks very messy. The other issue is that picking this up now, I have said this before, but there's 50, I think this is 51 channels. I can't make it bigger or smaller. There's no kind of bar to go slider. If I move this here, there's my scroll bar now. There's my 53 channels, there you go, sorry, 53. If I go to my Chevy Force here, I've got a slider bar, shows me blank channels. Don't know why it's showing me blank channels there. I don't need the scroll bar for this. So there's an issue going on with the scroll bar. No, the scroll bar disappeared again. Make it a bit bigger. There's a scroll bar that's reappeared. The other bugbear, let's stop this, is that if I was to, it's done it now. Let's try and pick a different one. Close. Let's go to this one. No. It's resized. I think I know what it's doing. If you know what, let's close this. Reopen. Same show. Right, red cyan. Open this up. Yeah, it's done it. Here you go. You can see my block was big and I could see the RGB values here, or input them as manual. I can't. Now if I want to resize this, if I click it and extend, won't work. Click it again and then extend, it works. Now it's showing me my RGB values. In terms of, because sometimes I might want to add them. That needs work. It doesn't work very well. The other issue that I've experienced with this is palette plug within effects. Yes, so come back out of this, go to my kind of like effects here. That's the group's rect, and go to preset high. Right, as you can see that it's done it correctly. If I change this to blue, it changes it to blue. If I change color width, it doesn't do anything. It's static. If I press OK, that will change. Let's see if I can bring up the output here. Let's alter this. Oh, it's already altering. Let's resize this. I want to see if it's outputting live. Let's change this to there. Okay. So it is not actually outputting live. It's doing the color width. It's attempting something, but it's not doing it live. However, if I do it as a non-palette, it's fine. It works. It's outputting live. So again, it's saying don't use palettes. Palette's got an issue on that scenario. Let's close this. No. The next thing that I've got on my list, I've closed my list. Not live outputting on edit. Copy and paste bug, I'll show you that, and size media, I've done that. That's it. There are others, but I think we did have a conversation. Yeah, the other thing was palettes. So we need a clear, like, I've done it before where I've added new fixtures. I don't think it's going to work. It only works here and there. New page. If I add a different fixture, let's add a rogue wash. Let's add 6, 7 of them. Patch. Next. Right, so I've added some rogue ones. If I go to my palette, go to my rogue ones here. I've had instances where it fills every light that I have here, and I have to individually go to each X and close, well, get rid of that data, and then I've got to do it multiple times. I have to go all through it just to clear it. So it'd be really nice if there was a clear all button. Instead of one X, you have one master X that clears everything, so then you can start afresh instead of having to go through each one individually. That would be really good to have on this scenario. And that's it for now. Thank you.